So in today's video, I'll be showing you during like my sort of update on all my plants. I'll be showing you some lithops that I just got on the internet, and I kind of have a long and sordid history with trying to grow lithops, and honestly, I've gotten kind of discouraged over the years because even though they're sold as beginner plants, sometimes they're not beginner plants and they require a fair amount of knowledge into their seasonal dormancies, and honestly sometimes it seems like they're easier to grow in a bright window, but I don't have one of those, and I have LEDs, so I'm gonna try to do my best to kind of replicate the seasons um, as best I can. If there's any lithops experts out there, I don't know if it's even okay to grow lithops on a 16-hour cycle, but I think at least one of them right now is under 16 hours, which could be too much. I could be frying them and drying them out, but um, lithops are fascinating, and I'd encourage you to buy the book Treasures of the Veld by Stephen Hammer, and it covers a lot of not only the natural habitat and some good photography in the fields in South Africa, but also it covers some man-made cultivars of lithops that are just absolutely beautiful. Um, and lithops are just kind of one of many. So if I end up giving up, which I mean, I probably won't give up, but I might move on to others that are similar to lithops, but not uh, uh, in the same genus. Which there are a lot of rock mimic plants if you really go down the rabbit hole. Um, some of the ones that I know of include Dinteranthus. These are all genera, like different plant genuses. There's lithops, but there's also Dinteranthus, there's Gibeum, there's Conophytum, there's Oophytum, there's Argyroderma, there's Titanopsis, there's Aloinopsis, and I'm really just scratching the surface. There's a lot, and I've heard from some people that that Conophytum are less rot prone than lithops, so I might try some Conophytum. I've never tried to grow Conophytum, but from what I see online, they also require a certain amount of seasonal dormancy, and that's hard. I mean, there's not a lot of information online um, as to how to replicate those seasons under LED lights. I know that temperature is involved, and you got to kind of like give it a winter. Um, and it's hard for me to give up on a plant. I'm always about like trying again and learning lessons and persevering, but um, lithops have tested that in me for sure, because they are not a beginner plant, and um, they're beautiful though. I really love thinking about like millions of years ago, these plants. There was a adaptation where they looked a little bit like the rocks that surround them, and they just rolled with it and tried to look as much like the minerals that are around them as possible. And it's crazy to me, like what was around in the South African desert at that time that like would have eaten a lithop but didn't, because it was like, oh, that's just a rock. I don't know. There's those moments stacked up over time, and it's just really cool. But yeah, I'll get to showing you. I got these new lights from a friend for free, actually. These are both Vivo Sun. So now I'm able to do stuff up top and also down bottom. And for a while I had this aquarium and I wasn't doing much with it, and it's always been closed, and what the pothos vine that was in there died. So what I did was I took some moss from like my trash filled area outside basically, and I put it in here, and it's doing cool things on top with my little candle holder in there. It's kind of like a lantern. And this is Mammillaria volburnensis, and I've been propagating a bunch of this because I really like how it grows, and it's a really sturdy plant. Like, it doesn't rot very easily, and you'll see that there's a little bit of oxalis growing in with it as a partner plant, because this comes from my friend Stephanie at Adirondack Growers in Hopkinton, and oh my goodness, I just love this. I love this plant. It just pups like crazy. You'll see once these get big enough, I'll take these off like I did the other ones, and propagate with them. I believe that this is, I haven't looked it up, but I believe that this is some sort of not senecio. It's peperomia, maybe, or something like that. I'm not sure, but maybe I'll look it up for another episode. But it was at my work, because I have a lot of my plants at my work, and a lot of my plants like move around a lot, and sometimes I'll give them away, and I'll buy new ones, and I'll move some from my collection to my work, and some from my work to my collection. So that's what happened here. This was at my work, and I thought, well, I'll bring it here and put it in this pot and see how it does under the new lights. And honestly, I kind of like how things look under these new lights. They're a brighter, like they're not sort of ultraviolet heavy on the spectrum. They're more just like a plain sunlight look, which I like. I brought my Trigona rubra out of the dresser just because I needed more space in there, and I'll show you why in a minute, because I have a lot of new stuff in there. And these are my gasteria. I've started to propagate from that large cluster I had, and these are doing good. I probably will give these away as gifts at some point, because I don't know, gasterias just aren't my thing. They grow really slow, and they're cool looking, but I don't know, I think somebody else could appreciate them more than I could. And my little bulb that I wasn't very optimistic about, my Stephania erecta, is in here, and it's actually doing things, which I'm super excited about. Like, for real, that is just so cool. And I'm now a little bit ashamed of getting a store credit for it being so small, because it's still growing and it's still good. I thought it was dying. I thought it was gonna die on me, and I put it under this dome to like give it like more humidity, and it just took right off. And it really is like making a lot of new growth, and I just am so excited to have a Stephania erecta. I think it's a beautiful plant, and I actually have a Stephania cephalantha coming in the mail, which I don't know really how the two differentiate. They kind of look a little bit different, but they both are bulbs, like bulb plants. They make like codexes, and they're both like vines, which is cool. And yeah, I have the ficus there, and I've started to, something that's exciting up here is that I've started to get back into lithops, or at least try to get back into lithops. And these are the smaller ones that I got. This is Lithops fulviceps. This is Lithops dorotheae. And this is Hookeri. I'm not exactly sure what this is, and it seems to have some sort of fungal stuff going on with it, which I didn't do that. That's just from being, I guess, it's either the old nursery did something, or in the mail it started happening. So that's why it's separated from these three, just to see if it sheds it with the leaves. Like, it could be sunburn or something, but I'm not even going to try to ID it.
and I just watered them for the first time because I want to encourage root growth, because they came bare root in the mail. And in this container on the right, I have I don't know if I'll be able to see it very well, but there's a bunch. There's such a good there's such a good germination rate in there of the Mammillaria nehapensis. There's two different containers in this little pot, and they both have the nehapensis fruits from this plant right here, because it's been making fruits like crazy. And the one on the bottom here, you'll see, is just like green as hell. This one I just planted the other day, so I think it'll also be a good germination rate, but it just hasn't had the time to germinate yet on top. And I've started to acclimate stuff in this propagator to the outside humidity. This one hole is taped off right now, but these two I'm leaving open. I've been leaving open for just to try to get the soil to dry out a little bit. Not that I think it's like I'm having crazy problems in there, but I do want to try to start getting it a little drier, because I've noticed I think it's too wet for how big the seedlings are getting. In here a lot has changed, and I'll show you what I mean by that. I'll turn this fan down so you can hear me a little bit better. I have the Euphorbia Schoenlandii here, and honestly I am in love with this plant. I love it so much, and I just needed it to be in here with all the rest of them. And I got some good top dressing that I have started to kind of uniformly, one at a time, get everybody in on the same top dressing so everybody matches. And it's just looking so pretty in here. Oh my goodness. Like some new additions that I might not have shown you. This is a Haworthia that I got from a local garden store. I don't know if that's the only one. Oh yeah, this is another, what I think is Lithops hookeri. I'm not sure what this is yet. I haven't looked it up. This one right here, but this is also a new purchase from a garden store. I know that that's a common cactus right there. That's the ladyfinger cactus, or Mammillaria elongata. And I believe that one on the right is also Mammillaria, but I have not looked it up yet. But I think that's another new addition. And yeah, everybody's doing good in here. Oh yeah, I told you that I was starting to propagate the Volburnensis, and this is what I mean. All of these are Volburnensis on the right here. And this is what's called a Pelargonium triste, which is another caudiciform plant that I think just looks so cool when they get older. So I'm excited to see if this starts making new growth. It hasn't yet, but I've been keeping it wet, and I'm hoping that it does something, you know. So this kind of it shed all the leaves that it made, because I think it was overwatered when I first got it. So I'm just kind of ignoring it and hoping it survives, because it is putting out one little leaf there that looks green so far. So yeah, let's hope it stays green. This is a Volburnensis that's about to bloom, as you can see. It looks like it's gonna make 4 or 5 flowers. But that one's the closest to blooming, and I think it's gonna bloom tomorrow probably. And yeah, everybody's doing good in here. I like how everybody's looking, and the Japonica is starting to put out, I mean, slowly but surely, it's starting to put out little bits of leaves in the middle of every one of these. And I've been watching it like a hawk, because I really want this to succeed. I really like this plant, and I think it would be cool to propagate it, but I just think some of these pups are too small, so I want to wait till it gets bigger, until I try to do that. And yeah, I have some new plants coming. Hopefully that'll fill in some of the space in here. And I've brought some of the old plants to my work and moved some stuff around, and I took out this piece of wood that was here that kind of blocked the view, and I pushed all the plants down, and I turned the light up there up, and I changed whole lot. But I think it's for the better. The collection is looking good, and yeah, I'm really kind of delving headfirst into the hobby. I want to fill this whole top shelf with cactus seedlings. I think that would just be awesome. I have some seeds coming in the mail, so I'm gonna do what I can to really go off with planting cactus in under that light up there, because down here I can do what I want with with whatever spare plants I have. There's a lot of space down there on the floor, even with the tank there. And over here I've started to do a little bit of like a grow operation, because I wasn't really using this mini fridge a lot. So I put one of the lights that a friend gave me up top, and this is like a grow light up there. You see it? And I should get some ventilation for in here, and I think that's the next step, is getting a little fan. But I think it's cool that I'm able to kind of have this like sort of stealth grow. Not that it's illegal where I live, it's totally legal, but I think it's cool to just have it in there. And I don't even really need a timer for it, because it's an auto flower, so it doesn't even really need nighttime. I mean, at least some of the Mephisto genetics people say that their genetics don't require a nighttime to go to flower, so that's cool. I'll probably just leave it alone, and unless it like starts to overheat or cause problems or something, and then I'll just probably bail on the idea and take the pot plant and put it under that light instead, you know. But yeah, that's just like been a little update of my place, you know, and my collection.